Hey, hello. I think I'm live. I think things are working. Who knows? We'll see. Camera's a bit skew if. There we go. Something like that, anyway. Hi. Who we got? People in here already. Unbelievable. Why is that pop? Oh, they're down the bottom. Why is that doing that? Okay. Always fun. Let's try this. Okay. We'll do that, and we'll do that. So I'm messing around with chat. Sis Judith, how you doing? Hi, hello. Cat's Eye Lover, lol, whatever it is. I'm trying to work out all those. Hi, nice to see you. Yeah, welcome. So this is a bit short notice and all the rest of it. So who knows what's going to happen tonight? But I thought I'd get on here and do a live because I've had zero time to do absolutely anything whatsoever, filming ways or anything like that. So we just have a look. Right, we're live. That's working. Right, cool. That's fine. Welcome. My name's the Reverend Simon Archer, also known as the Isle of Man Vicar, and I'm actually a vicar now, so I can say that I am the Isle of Man Vicar rather than being a priest in charge. Good evening, Mang Sandy. Nice to hear from you. Yeah, so it's been a bit of an interesting one. So apologies that it feels weird. It feels like I've not made content for like a month or something, and literally it was one Friday that I didn't go live or make a video, and it just feels like ages. Plus, I haven't done the clips because I usually use AI, make clips, blah blah blah, all the rest of it, post them out there. But I didn't have anything to work with. I did some filming while I was away, but it wasn't really hitting the spot. It was more around the sort of training that I was doing. And I'm not sure it was really hitting the mark content wise, so I just kind of dropped it off. There was a few videos on there. I just I took them down. But I'm here now. I thought maybe a few people pop on and say hello, and we'll see how it goes. If it's a hour, 2 hours, whatever, it doesn't matter really. So I just thought it'd be nice to pop on here and see how everyone is really. What's that, Olio? I get notifications from Olio from time to time. I don't know if anyone uses the Olio app. Really worthwhile on the island. Definitely. Someone with a computer monitor. Okay. Whatever. Yeah, Olio, great app. Great way of getting like freebie food if you want to do that. I use it for some stuff we use at church. So if I get cakes and things like that, sometimes for coffee morning, we'll use it then. Even cakes for sort of Sunday, pastries and stuff we sometimes use for coffee mornings and things. And if it's, I've had whole birthday cakes and stuff like that. So, Sid Studio, stop. Yeah, I will at some point. I've got so many places I want to go. Do you know what? It's been rubbish getting out. See, I don't mind getting wet. I don't mind. The weather's been beautiful this week on and off. It has been absolutely stunning days. Today was beautiful. But it's one of those funny things that I got like the camera that I can use in the rain and stuff like that. And it's all right in storms and stuff, because that's cool. But generally what I found is like filmmaking when it's grey all the time, it's just, you don't get the colour, and it's like a bit washed out, and it's a bit miserable. And I can play about with the colours and stuff on the edit, but it just doesn't feel quite right. So I've been looking forward to getting some like sunny days and some bright days, and this week's had them, but my son's been over, so I've got loads of excuses. But my son's been over, and I haven't seen my son for over a year. He lives in Aberystwyth in Wales. It's not too far away, but he's working, I'm working, we're all kind of busy. And he just couldn't get away at Christmas because he works in retail at the moment, and it was like, we can't get away at Christmas in retail, and he'd have to get back for Boxing Day. So it was like getting over here and back just wasn't worth the hassle, as in he'd never get there in time. So anyway, Molly Quirk's Glen is kind of on the list. It's not one that springs to mind all the time. I've got so many, like Ballaglass Glen, Glen May, I think was another one. Someone said to me, there's so many places I want to visit. But again, going on the tram tomorrow. I didn't think it was running yet. Is it running already? I thought it wasn't coming quite yet. Was it the first run? Is it this weekend, the kind of opening weekend thing? Nice. I love the trams, love the trams, love the train. Brilliant when that's back because you hear the whistle blowing away. But Cat's Eye Lover, I might call you Cat's Eye, lol, or whatever it is. Cat's Eye. Do you find the UK stressful when you go back compared to the island? Yeah, it kind of. I mean, I went to Eastbourne. So that, like week before last, I'd spent 8 days basically on a kind of an experience, if you like. So of course sounds wrong, but it's kind of like a kind of an experience. Sit back a bit because I noticed when I turn these YouTube stuff into videos, it doesn't work very well. I went to Eastbourne. Eastbourne's coastal anyway, it's pretty chilled. When I got there, it was grim and rainy, and it felt horrible. But we had one day when the sun came out. I walked straight along, did like a 10-mile walk. I went all the way to Beachy Head and then back again into Eastbourne, and that was quite good. But yeah, you kind of get that like land at Gatwick compared to Ronaldsway. You land at Gatwick and it's a bit busier, and it trying to get on trains. And I got to Gatwick Station, and the platform was closed due to a security risk. You just don't get that on the steam trains over here. You don't get security risks on steam trains generally. And so yeah, it was a bit yeah, the Gatwick closure with security alerts and everyone sort of pushing and gathering around. I wasn't too stressed. I'm used to it. It doesn't produce particularly any anxiety in me, but you notice it. I think when you're living in London all the time, there's like just that little kind of background hum of anxiety and a little bit of stress that goes on. So you kind of notice that a bit more. And when you come back, when you arrive home on the island, it's like, ooh, it's like you feel like the weight coming off. Doesn't work for everyone. That's for me. I'm talking about myself. Mang saying, yeah, today's been fantastic. Tomorrow's given the same. Make the most of it. I'm off work tomorrow and hopefully out stealth camping tomorrow night. Nice one. Can't say where. Obviously, absolutely. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. Not that they'll break me if they capture me, but I 100% agree. It's really, there's been some good groups. I've actually left a wild camping group because apparently there's a couple of little spies in that group who are reporting everything back to the Department of Environment and Agriculture or whatever it is, farming and DEFA, whatever it is. So yeah, there's some people excited to leave the group, take all my stuff down just in case they get into trouble. Because obviously I don't wild camp at all because that would be terrible. It'll break so many rules and laws, and everyone gets really angry about it. And yet the people who those rules really should apply to the people who leave crap everywhere and carrier bags and broken tents and wet sleeping bags, you know, who will completely ignore the rules anyway. So it doesn't really matter. It's all these like good campers get the hassle. But anyway, yeah, so yeah, don't share it. There's a few good spots that you can share privately, but never share publicly where you're going or what you're doing or where you've been. I get worried about even sharing photos of where I've been. I've shared videos, but you know, there you go. Sid Studios, yeah, it's up and running. It started last week. Oh, did it? Okay, I just hadn't heard the trains or anything, but the trains might be a bit later. No, it's Sid. The helmet in the background is from Doom Eternal. It's a Doom helmet that I got from when I did some work with Bethesda. Did some work with Bethesda streaming as the sort of gaming vicar, which is one of my previous. If you ever Google gaming vicar, the gaming vicar, my picture comes up quite a lot because I had a name like a name of Vicarious Big, and I end up on TV and news and CBS in America and stuff like that, and I end up doing some work with Bethesda, and they gave me like Doom Eternal, the game box set edition with all the helmet and the music cassette and all this sort of cool stuff with it. So yeah, I got the helmet then. So that helmet with the guitar in front of it up here, where is it there? That helmet is from Doom Eternal. So yeah, did a live stream at the QuakeCon event. Plan to visit with my husband the end of March. Nice. Excellent. You don't need much of a plan. There's loads of stuff to visit, tons. I've been here 2.5 years, and you've got people like Sid saying, you know, oh, have you been to here yet? And I'm like, 2.5 years later, and I haven't got there. There's so many nice places. Depends what you like doing. Depends what sort of stuff if you like the outdoors and stuff, there's plenty. Don't mind the rain. Bring a raincoat, lightweight Mac or something, so you can get out in the rain and the wind and just enjoy it. But there's loads of like other places to visit. If you like shopping, there's plenty of like that sort of thing around. There's what's that shopping place in St John's? But you've got like a fancy, well, I say fancy, it's not that fancy, but like a outlet shopping centre type place. And then you've got that Douglas High Street, and then but it's all the individual little shops. Ramsey's High Street's really good for it. But if you want to outdoors, there's plenty of beaches that you'll find pretty unspoilt. If you're coming over and you get around on public transport, it's pretty good, but it won't get you everywhere. You will get some other spots where if you've got a hire car, then you can get to like Niarbyl, uh, Fleshwick, Len Beach. There's tons. Marine Drive, you can drive along there, and pretty amazing. So yeah, cool. Have a great trip. Honestly, you like as with everyone, either it'll be the place of your dreams and you'll love it, and you just go like it's the I love it here, it's amazing, or you'll go, I don't get what the fuss is about, or not keen. You'll either see the good of the place. It's very clean. It's very safe, and there's just tons to see. If you like, so we're driving around today. So we went to. Hold on, I'll answer some of the more of these comments first before I start getting into anything else. Happy out on your own, Manx Sandy, mate. Honestly, best thing. I love it. It's hard because a lot of people go, "Oh, do you want to meet up?" And I do definitely want to meet up with some guys that I've been chatting to. Guy Wally is a guy who's kind of invited me out, and I will say yes and get out with him this summer. I'm trying to, definitely. I'm going out with groups of people, but I kind of like the solitude of it. And here's me, I go on about loneliness and stuff like that. I'm going, well, how can you be lonely and be really into lonely being on your own? And that's very different things. So the solitude side of it, that chosen being on your own stuff is great. So when you go out camping, I love camping on my own. I have a little transistor radio which is around somewhere. I don't know. It's got like one of these little kind of just really simple one, and that comes with me. But it barely uses any batteries, so it's like better turn that off before I get banned for the music. Take one of these. That's generally, rather than killing the battery of my phone with music and stuff or radio, and often you don't get a signal, and I'll just tune into whatever. When I'm on my own of an evening, late at night, what I find really good is like little sort of news and chat stuff, and I listen to some Irish. Depends what side of the island you're on, but I'm quite often on the west coast, so I'll listen to some Irish radio stations or some talk sport type stuff or some newsy type discussion stuff. I love it. I like Radio 4 and things, but it's like the chat stuff's really keeps you company as well. So I quite like listening to that before I go to sleep. So I use that. I have it on fairly quietly, really quietly actually, but that's good. I enjoy that. But yeah, quite enjoy the kind of getting out on my own thing. It's good. It's good. It keeps you on your toes, gives you proper space and proper rest. I really love it. Gaming Vicar. I'm checking out Gaming Vicar on my phone. Right, yeah. So I used to do like Twitch streams and Facebook. Facebook gaming was the main one, but that doesn't even exist anymore. But I did a lot of Twitch and things like that. And at one point was doing really well with it, but it became a bit of a chore, a bit of a job. And I was like, it was all right when we were locked down in COVID, but when we came out of COVID with being a priest and no longer having any time to myself, it was just too much. So I had to put it to one side for my sanity. And now I do this content because it means I get out and go walking, which I can't complain about. So it's a really good way of me doing something good with my time, and getting out, getting fresh air, and making the content at the same time. So it just works. But yeah, there's some fun stuff on there. You'll see. So if you like look at, I think you can look Gaming Vicar CBS, and you'll find probably on YouTube somewhere like the video, the CBS article. So like, I think it comes up as CBS Miami, but there was it was shared around all the news stations and stuff. The introduction, which you won't see on that, is quite funny, where they call me a English vicar, not vicar, vicar. An English vicar is turned his ministry to gaming. It was like things called like gaming for God and stuff. It was like, anyway, fun past life. It wasn't even that long ago, really. When you think about it, it's probably like 6 years ago, 5 years ago. As old as this computer that I'm streaming on. It'd be nice to live near beautiful scenery, and I'm attracted to the safety aspect, and we just want our business to be looked after and be part of a thriving place for some businesses. So, as with anywhere with small businesses, it has its challenges. If you've got good business acumen, you've got that entrepreneurial spirit, definitely businesses can do well over here. But you've just got to have something which has got a market. That's all. There's a few business complaint. You get a lot of businesses over here saying buy local, buy local, buy local. At the same time as people going, well, yeah, but we can't always afford to. People will try and buy local. I'll buy from the local butchers. I'll buy fruit and veg that I know is from the Manx farmers. But some stuff you just can't get local, and other stuff it's just like, well, it's really hard to justify paying twice the price of something that you can buy online or whatever like that. So it does depend. So food and produce wise, I'd always try and buy local if I can. But I'm not sure about other stuff. Why am I getting a warning on here? Choose a shell to match your runner. What's that? Read your notification. Your microphone is unmuted but has no signal. Oh, you can all hear me. Choose a shell to match your runner 2 hours ago. No, that's fine. Anyway, things seem to be working. I think you can hear me, so that's good. But yeah, business-wise over here. So there's loads of small businesses that do absolutely thrive and even gone from strength to strength. So there was a salt company, it's the salt.co or something, but salt company over here gets its salt locally, just down at Langness, and it's from sea salt. And they're like in like, was it Selfridges or wherever it is, they're like exporting and having to produce more and more, so they're doing really well. Dairy over here does well, get cheeses get exported all around the globe, so there's quite good export there, but we import a lot. And there's loads of coffee shops and little restaurants and cafes and things like that, and a lot of them again say, well, buy local, buy local, buy local, and people can't, and these are the same, this is going to be controversial, these are some of the same small businesses that saying they would go under if they had to pay a living wage to their staff. And that bothers me a lot, because I kind of go, if you can't run your business and pay your people enough to survive, that your people that you're paying, this is what I don't understand, if you're paying your people enough so that they can go and they should be able to go out and buy, probably if it's a cafe, it's a lot of it's hospitality, they should be able to buy a meal in your place once a month, or they should be able to buy coffee from your shop, or they should be able to buy whatever it is. If they can't, then basically they're not going to be able to afford to spend in other small businesses. So you can't expect to pay people less than a living wage and then expect them to go out and spend money in your small business that you don't pay a living wage in. It just doesn't work like that. So it's kind of I kind of really struggle with that one, and that is really controversial. But that's my take, my personal take of it, not representing my church or my diocese, but I think actually paying people a fair, and if your business is not viable and they say, oh, prices go up, it's always a good excuse to say, oh, this is how inflation works and economics and all the rest of it. But there's some people out there who are earning an absolute fortune and don't need to worry about any of that stuff, and then can eat and drink wherever they want. But if your employee can't buy a coffee, because let's face it, that's why a lot of the businesses, and especially hospitality and pubs and things like that, people don't have money to go drinking in a pub, and especially when it's £5 or £6 a pint. Well, it's reasonable over here actually, but in London I'd pay £7-8 in a social club to buy a pint. So it's pretty reasonable over here. But if you can't afford to go, that's what people used to go out and buy a few pints on a Friday night, and now you can't afford to. So small businesses, hospitality will drop if the people who would spend their money aren't being paid enough. Oh, that was a rant, wasn't it? Been playing Halo, so I thought it was from Halo. Oh, yeah. No, it's similar. I love Halo. Halo was my jam when I was growing up, like Xbox 360, I guess it was. Combat Evolved and stuff like that. Yeah, loved Halo. We're talking with my son. My son's staying over he goes back on Sunday, but I haven't seen him for a year, and we talk a lot of video games. He's really into video games. Are there any gaming cafes, arcade venues? So at the moment there is like an arcade place that's just about announced that it's closing. It's not closing, it's moving. But it moved from sort of a business unit at I think it was Ballasalla. I don't know if it's Balfame, but If they'd moved from that into the Strand High Street into the little kind of, I can't remember, it's the shopping centre there, the little shopping centre there, and they'd had it running there for a while, but it wasn't doing the business, so it is now moving back to a unit that's they're moving to a unit in Ballasalla apparently. So I think part of it was upstairs in this shopping place and it just wasn't getting the business, but also it's cost. It's cost. See, I think of arcades with cafes as being like, a few like arcade machines, but they had all the PCs and VR and all sorts of stuff like that. The floor is lava thing, which is a new thing. You might have seen that in some arcade place, but it was all it wasn't cheap. And most kids, I would say, considering they can play Fortnite and Roblox on their phones and tablets and stuff, why are they going to pay money to go and play in a shopping centre, which is not convenient, not sat at home where they've got all their the fast internet and they're comfortable and they've got everything. I think I just don't think it was for them. Retro arcade would suit me. I'd like that, but I'd love kind of a retro arcade with that kind of American cafe kind of feel to it. I'd go there, but yeah. So to be honest with you, that's been kind of done, and it didn't really work out very well in the town centre. Doesn't mean someone else can't look at the model and do it better. Having worked retail and stuff like that, been kind of setting up stores and stuff in certain places, I get how kind of there needs to be a lot of research beforehand, and it's all right going with the punt, going, oh, I love this would really work. Without proper market research, you're probably you're rolling the dice on whether something's going to be successful. Definitely, but you never know. Yeah, and other arcades and venues. So again, it depends what sort of arcade. We haven't got the sort of penny arcade type stuff on the front anymore. In Douglas, there used to be years ago, and a lot of people say they miss that, being able to take the kids down with a bag of 2p pieces and have them play around with these silly games for hours on end. I'm not keen on that. There's a few like gambling sort of places, but these kind of, like, you know what I mean. You see it down where I used to live. Used to travel down to Margate, or play in the arcades down there, and that was fine. Hi James. Yeah, I've not made a big deal out of this one, to be absolutely honest, mate. Nice to see you. Yeah, James, nice to see you in here. Sid, do you remember how I said that lots of my family have YouTube channels, or my uncle recently made? Well, I'll share it in here, Sid. I don't mind. You can share whatever YouTube channel you like. I'm not fussed about that. You can share away. But yeah, I don't know. There's plenty. You're welcome to message me, Cat's Eye. Just give us a shout if you want to ask any questions. But I'm not. I mean, I used to work in I said work in business. It doesn't sound like a lot, but retail and things like that. So I worked for Apple, and I've worked for Tesco Mobile. I helped launch the original Tesco Mobile stores, but before that worked in a lot of tech stores, so kind of a techie kind of background. But yeah, it's just kind of finding the thing, isn't it? Finding the niche, kind of what's going to do well. Independent clothing stores don't tend to do well over here. It might be a couple like boutique type stores, but I just don't think they've got the buying power of the big chains. So the chains do well over here. You've got TK Maxx in town. You've got that sort of thing Next and stuff. So we've got you've got big chain stores. But I don't know. Oh, I've got my cup of tea here. I've got my brew. This is for you Tottenham fans out here. Any Tottenham fans in the chat? Going well for you, isn't it? Going well. I see you. Hope you draw us in the in one of the cups, because you'll be in the championship next year, won't you? So the only way you get to play us next year will be is if you happen to make it through the FA Cup early rounds for those lower league teams. Everyone's hating how we're playing, and here we are top the table. That's all for you Tottenham fans out there. There's a bit of football going on tonight. Tempting not to just to watch football. There's lots of football on at the moment, which is great. It's at Liverpool Wolves tonight. I got a landscape gardener to do my garden. What he said he couldn't do it as my garden was poor, Jake. Do you know I nearly went for that, James? You so and so. Nearly got me then. I nearly finished reading that. I was like, oh. I remember the arcade at Port Erin down near the harbour. Oh, cool. Used to go down every day, and I played the same game every year. We went back in the 70s and 80s. Nostalgia sells. 100%. Believe it. It's just fun. We do retro gaming as a business, but manufacturing. So there's a company that hires out some kind of retro like games and stuff. They picked up. What did I see they had the other day? They had the original Star Wars. If you know Star Wars, the game with an interesting controller, you had to go down. It was all like line. Can't remember what they called it now, but linear model shapes, and you had to go down the tunnel and shoot the Death Star and stuff like that with little asterisks flying at you. But retro's good. I think retro is a stronger market. My kids, they don't play. I mean, my son plays some high-end games, but they've got a gaming PC for that. And I think going somewhere to play a gaming PC, like it is, you've probably got one at home. Most of the other games you'll play on your phone or your tablet, or you've got a console. That's just not it. But if you had some old arcade machines, I would be tempted. I would probably go down and have a play. I'd probably take my kids down. I mean, my kids are all teenagers or older. That's not to say that they're kiddies, but I think they'd love the retro gaming. That's nostalgia sells. Do you know the number one electric tram? It's the oldest electric tram ever. Oldest electric tram ever? What? It's still running, do you mean? Is that still running? This is still attracting all the Tottenham fans. What do we think? Do you reckon Arsenal will hold on? Are we going to bottle it again this season? Finishing at second place again. Can't believe United's getting up there now. So, the Star Wars game. I mean, that was me growing up on like holiday park, going on the holiday park, and I'm just like scrounge money off my parents to go play this Star Wars game. To do it, as awesome. Loved all that stuff. It was good, like the racing car games and things like that. Things you sit in and just different. Like motorbikes, we'd lean on the motorbike, and we've got some there's like a simulator place over here that does like motorbikes, but. Don't know. Good to see. I mean, as a side thing, like people do like that, like say hire them out for people to take for like tabletop gaming, but that's going to be quite a small market, and there's a couple of people operating in it, so it'd be worth checking what's over here first. I know you spoke before. I guess it's the same because I don't think that's. Is it like this? Is like a. Can't remember whether. It was you were using like a, what do you call it, like a nickname or something like that. But I remember someone talking about doing some manufacturing on the island, talking about coming over and thinking about setting up business over here, because talking about imports and exports and setting up shops and online shops and stuff. And it's still challenging over here. We've got the technology. Are you a fan of any other teams from other leagues? Well, my old team would be Gillingham, because I'm originally from a place in Kent called Rainham, which is Rainham, Gillingham, Kent. So Gillingham was a team I went to see a fair bit, kind of just so you could go watch football, and I didn't really go see anything else. So lower league would be Gillingham. I don't even know where they are now. My wife's a United supporter, proper football fan. She'll be sitting and watching the football. What time is it? Yeah, she'll be watching the football now. So they do kind of watch. We watch a lot of football in this house, and yeah, not really anyone else. I was my family's from southeast London, not north, but we were probably near a palace. But all my family are London team supporters generally, so it's like Tottenham, West Ham, Arsenal. No one supports Chelsea, obviously. No one supports Chelsea. That's for the nouveau Chelsea supporters that you get. So no one actually supports Chelsea. But yeah, West Ham, Tottenham, Arsenal. I just want to see for a season, see West Ham stay up and Tottenham go down. That would be interesting. Man, you're getting there. Hopefully next season we'll be back. Hopefully getting a pick. Do you know what I heard? Man, just not turn this into a football podcast. But I heard my wife mentioned Jurgen Klopp been linked, and I was like, ooh, that would actually be amazing to see Klopp come back in. And I think he'd do well at United. I don't think Carrick's the guy to take him a whole season. He's great to jump in, but not to take him a whole season. No Scottish teams. Not really. My wife's, again, because her family, her granddad and stuff, is a Rangers supporter. So like her, she's got different roots. I don't know what the Scottish connection is, but her granddad was a Rangers fan. She's a Mahoney originally, so that's like obviously an Irish rooted name. So no, not. I don't really follow any. So I watch pretty much any football that's on, but I wouldn't support like 2, 3, 4 teams or anything like that. It's just I kind of feel like you're not really properly into a team then. Boo. Are you Celtic, are you? Okay. Yeah. No, I don't support them, but my wife is like she'll celebrate the win. She won't watch them play. Jurgen would only come to Liverpool, and we need him at the moment. No, I don't think he's. Hey, Anthony, how you doing? I don't think he's coming to Liverpool. I don't think he would only come to Liverpool. I think he's left enough gap now, that he could go somewhere else. I guess. I mean, he has seemed like a massive Liverpool fan even after leaving. So I get that why you'd say that, but I don't know. There's the one that I kind of went, oh, actually, but maybe he hasn't been away long enough, and maybe it would be a bit of a difficult one. I'm on the hoops. Yeah, no, don't like. She doesn't like the hoops. We'll see. Anyway, any questions about? So, obviously, I don't think we're going to have the same sort of numbers we've had previously, because I really didn't advertise this days in advance. It was like 2 hours before or something. So I don't expect loads of people to be on here, and I don't suppose we're going to get. But anything you'd like to ask, so you can talk about anything you like. But don't want to turn it into a football thing. You could be asking about living over here, travel, camping, hiking, any of the gear that I use or you've seen on stream. You could be asking about. You can ask about. It's not one of these things. No politics or religion. It'd be weird if a vicar said no talking about religion. You can talk about. You can talk about politics. I don't care. People get angry about it, but I'm sure we can do better. But you can talk about whatever you like, really. Just as long as you don't have a go at each other or get nasty. That's all. As long as you're polite, you can talk about whatever you like. I'm a big fan of old game consoles. Yeah, I've got a PS3 up there. I wasn't into PlayStation, but I got given 2 working PlayStation 3s. I just bought controllers for them. I couldn't believe it. But the charity shop that I was friends with them, I used to drop stuff into them all the time and help them out and stuff. And they just went, oh, you got any use for these? We can't sell them because we'd have to get them electrically tested. And by the time we've got them electrically tested, it's not worth it. So I went, well, yeah, I'll find a home for them, or I'll keep them myself. And we've ended up using them as Blu-ray players. They're really good Blu-ray players. Picked up a couple of wireless controllers. Boom, I've got a PS3, and you can pick up the game so cheaply. But saying again, it's sat up there, and I haven't touched it for ages. I think I got it to play. I can't remember what I got to play on it, but yeah, the graphics are reasonable. It's fine. Old consoles though. My son's got a Super Nintendo upstairs, original Super Nintendo, with some cartridges, including like Mario stuff like that. But I'm thinking about maybe part of when we set up the upper room, which is a project we're doing out at the church, is to get some consoles in. So the kids, I want to create like a hangout for kids on certain nights, so that they're not hanging around on the streets, getting up to mischief. I mean, they'll end up getting up to mischief anyway, but somewhere they can hang out, play some games, so some consoles and computers and stuff like that. So that's one of our things. So they can get, they can get on, they can play some games that probably aren't online games, but play some video games with each other, and have a bit of fun without them hanging out on the streets. Plus, we can heat the place and keep them warm. And you do get some kids hanging out in the worst of weathers just because they've got nothing, they're not particularly welcome at home. It's not terrible over here for, I used to have it really, really bad in some places I've worked. And some of them, they really are like left out on the streets because their parents don't want them there. But it's not too bad around here. But just give like a youth hangout, which we kind of keep lightly spiritual in that probably a prayer at the start that they don't break everything, but that's about it. But he said he would only come back to them. Yeah, I'm a big fan of old games console. Any extra info about the bus strike? Not really. I don't think they're talking. That's the problem. We've had a few more days added onto it and stuff like that, but it's basically it's they're just not getting anything much in negotiation. I think the offer they got through was worse than the offer that they had before the strike. It just doesn't make any sense. So they're not willing to pay him. And these guys aren't getting paid a lot. They're close to minimum wage. I mean, they're not minimum wage, but they're like £14-15 an hour. And other places get paid way more than that. But my daughter's boyfriend's brother drives them, and my daughter's boyfriend's dad drives them. So it matters to people that we know. So they need to sort that out. Really, they just need to be paid a reasonable rate, and to get a reasonable rate for bank holidays and Sundays and like overtime rates and stuff needs to be right. You can't just keep paying people a flat rate whilst paying the managers, I believe, quite a sum for when they're covering shifts. How's the car doing? You've done a lot of driving. Have you done a lot of mileage? Not a lot of mileage because it's just not. It's a small place and it's a few miles at a time. So I think my BM, I bought it with about 94, 95. It's on like 96 now. It's like I've done a couple of thousand miles, if that. I can't remember now, but it's not done a lot of miles. And still going well. Needs a good wash because I've been out today in it. But the other car is dead. So the Honda, I'm going to go pick up the stuff, pay the bill for the towing, and they're going to get it scrapped for me. I've got to take the logbook along. It's just not worth it. I know people said second opinion and stuff like that, but I've got to get it somewhere for a second opinion. It's just not worth it. And by the time I know they said a new battery, I don't know, not entirely fixed that. I knew I needed 4 new tyres. It's now due its tax. 4 new tyres is a couple £100 at least, probably £200 to £300. I wouldn't be able to put the tyres I wanted to put on it. £200 to £300. Potentially new battery. This new part fitted. If the steering pump's now gone or the water pump's gone, we're starting to look at £700-800, and the car's worth £1,000. It's not worth it. So I think what's going to happen is I'm going to go get my personal belongings for it, drop off the logbook, and say get rid of it, and take the hit, and keep my eye out for a bargain 4x4 another time, or trading my BMW against some other 4x4. That's probably the way it really should go. I'm not sure I should be keeping hold of the BMW when I haven't got a practical car. Really missed having a decent practical car. But we'll see. I could probably get away with having just an estate or something. Just like I could chuck my grass cuttings in the back of to take to the dump. Something. So maybe I'll keep a lookout for a bargain bucket of a car that I don't mind throwing crap in the back of. Is basically it. I mainly own like Nintendo. Nintendo stuff's cool though. Manchester United is targeting a permanent manager for the 20. Nagelsmann, Robert De Zerbi and Roberto Martinez. Martinez might be all right. I don't know. I don't know. To be honest with you, they won't be better than Arteta, so that's all right. I love Nintendos. Yes, they're only. These are the ones Roy Keane was saying. No, nobody knows, and it depends whether people want to take it on. It's a bit of a poison chalice for the last few years. Can I buy the Super? What? Can you buy the Super Nintendo? Well, for me, no. It's bad for the buses for the darts this week. It's a shame. Yeah, it's hard work, isn't it, when the buses are out? Two people sacked. Two people sacked DOI MHK and Treasury Minister. See, there's a lot of opposition to banning wind farm. Yeah, because do you know what? So our MHK, Jason Morehouse, he came up with the right idea about them. He asks the right questions. So I don't know whether you know, but there's something called curtailment payments. Curtailment payments are basically all the time they're running, the investors in these wind farms get income from selling the electricity to the electricity grid. But what about when it's not windy or they can't run? Well, apparently, when that happens, the government pays them a curtailment fee. So they pay them like a payment for them not producing electricity. And so Jason Moore, which is, it's one of these dodgy things that you get, where whatever. But if the electricity is not needed, so they're not running them. So they get paid. They get paid either way, which seems like hold on, you should be taking a risk. You're making the investment. It turns out these payments are kind of a normal thing. And when they were questioned in Tynwald by Jason saying, well, what's been agreed about curtailment? They went, it's too early yet. We haven't built them. And it's like, well, you don't want to build them and then work out the finances, because then you've done all the damage to the landscape. You've put these great big wind turbines up, and then you've said, oh, and by the way, then it's the classic Isle of Man government thing. But then you say, let's work out the finances of this. Well, surely they're already built, so you've kind of gone too far down that route. And what will happen is they won't run them because we've got excess electricity at the moment anyway, because we export more than we import. I believe we've made like 2 million from our interconnector that we have to the UK. I believe we've made about £2 million in the last few years, like transmitting electricity to them. So we've clearly got excess at times, at least, and we've got the interconnector. And then you build, and actually, sorry, one of the wind farms that was going to be built offshore wind farm was never going to supply us anyway. It was going to supply the UK. So we get an offshore wind farm in our waters, which transmits electricity to the UK. I was like, I don't know. It's crazy. But the curtailment payments are a problem. And I don't think they've thought it out at all. I don't think they thought it out. I'm glad we've got someone like Jason Morehouse, one of our MHKs, like asking the questions. Retro gaming cables is good for console cables. Okay, cool. I'd see. My perfect setup. I'd have a Spectrum 48K, probably a Commodore 64. They were kind of rivals at the time a little bit. I know you can emulate all of these. It's not the same. Maybe an Atari ST, and then all the Xboxes. Probably, maybe, something like that. I'd have a few consoles, and because the retro gaming is so much fun. It's all about gameplay, not about graphics, which is why it makes it so good. Doing the darts, I still don't know how I'm going to get there. Oh, bless you. That's a nightmare. It's such a pain. They're running like so many buses and that, but it depends whether it's convenient going the right place at the right time. I know. Other than that, it's cabs, isn't it? And my 2-seat is not going to get anybody anywhere apart from me preparing for Sunday services and the last day with my son. Safe trip. I hope we're booked for our return and move over. Cool. On Tuesday, the 31st of March. 31st of March. Really? End of this month. Is that right? That is awesome. That is really cool. Oh, don't worry about missing the notification. This is a bit of a late one anyway. I didn't put out any kind of posts about it till this evening. I just decided I hadn't had a chance to record another video, but I wanted to say hello to a few people and chat and catch up. So I thought it'd be a good idea to kind of do a live instead. And it's amazing. 31st. It's such a big deal as well. I mean, I just hope you love we've had this week as well some of the weather, and we're driving up the part of the one of the main roads through the island. I think it's the A3 or whatever it is, but was closed at one part, so we had to drive up the coastal road along the west coast. I'm glad we did, because it was stunning. We could see over to Ireland and watch along Len Beach with all the cliffs, and it was just beautiful. And then today we went to Currag's Wildlife Park, and we went around the whole place, and it was brilliant. We watched penguins being fed. There was capybaras and lemurs and the flamingos and spider monkeys and otters were out having some food. So we caught a lot of the feeding, which was great, and it was absolutely amazing, beautiful. And at Currag's Wildlife Park, you can buy an annual pass, or you can go, but it's particularly special because it's kind of got like the hills behind it as well. So you've got these beautiful views on a sunny day. Everything. We didn't see the red pandas. The red pandas went out. Gutted. But you can see all the hills around you and the wildlife park, and all the animals out, and it was really good. It's a good day today. Cold. It was like 6 to 8 degrees. It was pretty chilly, but the sun was out. So in the sun, you get the heat from that. Oh, Sid, you got to go. Take care, mate. See you later. Secured a place in Ramsey down north. You're going down north. Oh, can't believe you're not going to be our way. Well, it's what can I say? It's Ramsey's great. I love Ramsey. Nothing wrong with being in Ramsey, and you might find that's the place you fall in love with anyway, and that's the place you stay. It is a good place. So I'm really pleased for you. I'm pleased you're getting the move in. Give us a shout when you get here. Happy to come visit in Ramsey. Gives me an excuse to go up there. I'll bring my passport so I can get through passport control to get into Ramsey. I hope the wind farm doesn't get approved. I don't want see. So I'll sound like a conspiracy theorist if I start talking about wind farms and things like that. So, what a lot of people are finding is like heat pumps and stuff like that. Some of them they just don't work very well for us in some of our climates. And the setups we have, like there's possibilities with solar, with heat pumps, with but the thing with the reason they quite like anything which is external, like a wind farm, is because they get to sell the electricity to us. Anything that you might have at home, if you were to buy a heat pump or you were to get solar panels put in, you could even sell back to the grid. So they don't want that because they want to sell you the electricity. Oh, the electricity's gone up in costs, so we've got to sell you it's going to be more money. That's how they make money. So so there's a big thing about that. You've also got to just follow the money, and obviously people are investing in these wind farms. And I've heard that sometimes when they come to the end of their life, some of these companies go bust. Therefore, aren't able to take them down and recycle them as they agreed to at the start. It's like they talk about it being a dirty business because it's not as green as people make out. Huge concrete platforms for them to be on. Roads widened to destroying ancient hedgerows so that they can get the equipment and the materials and these giant blades up to the sites where they're doing it on land. And then you've got these massive eyesores, and we have no idea what they're going to be doing. They say they don't hurt birds and migration and stuff like that, but we've got such an amazing biosphere here. It's ecologically such an important place. It seems a strange thing to do, to start great big metal structures and rotating blades and go, oh, this is good, we'll have that. So, why am I getting messages through? Don't ignore it. I've got this strange approach to like the green agenda, if you like. Is that care of creation is definitely my thing. You see me out walking in creation. I love it. Protect it. Maintain it, look after it. Absolutely. I don't think a lot of the green stuff that businesses are trying to push onto people is actually good for the environment. I think it's an ideology. I think a lot of it is selling stuff. It's about money making. None of these businesses that invest in wind farms infrastructure are looking to do it out of the goodness of their heart to save the planet. So it's a money thing. I just don't like it. I don't like there's something not right about it. So I think we should look at alternative forms of energy. We've got an electric car. My wife's car's electric. She's got it for the torque because it drives better than the petrol. And I would go for electric car if they did a really good one that especially if they do Rivian 2. Rivian 2 looks good. I'd go for an electric 4x4, something like that, quite happily. Not for the basis that it's going to save the planet, because the energy that's produced, the electricity that's produced to top up the battery is probably produced at gas or oil-fired power stations. So I don't think, I think we can get better at doing it, but people need cheap electricity and power. They don't need greener at the moment, because people are struggling to pay electricity bills and gas bills and energy bills in general. So I'm not sure. I just don't know. I'm informed enough to know that it makes me uncomfortable. Have you seen Richard Hammond's workshop program? He does lots of old cars and workshop. You probably like it. I've seen. The thing is, I might have done myself in the bangers and cash type stuff, and what's the other one? It's lots of like rebuild rescue type stuff, where they take an old banger and do it up. I've seen tons of those sorts of programs. I might have probably seen enough. I think they've been done to death. And I generally watch YouTube stuff now. I don't really watch much TV. I've been travelling down as often as possible, Simon, so long as it make it past the shed. Yeah, I know. The shed's a good place to stop. Now you've made me think of crumble. I might need to go get crumbled tomorrow. I've got so much work to do to prep for services, but maybe as a last hurrah, I might take my son and his girlfriend to the shed for crumble. Oh, sounds very tempting. I'm gonna be broke though. It's cost me an absolute arm and a leg. Carrick's Wildlife Park is really reasonable, but apart from my son who was at school, everyone decided to go. It's £13 an adult, but they're all adults, so it's like an absolute arm and a leg to get in. And then I bought them all lunch, and I'm not a wealthy man. It's like 85 quid for lunch for 6 of us, which is really reasonable still, and it's lovely food at the wildlife park. But I've done in this week. I've done in already. I've only just been paid my poor stipend, and it's gone. It's gone. But I wanted my son and his girlfriend to have a really nice time over here. So we did loads of that sort of stuff. Oh, I'm going all croaky. Yeah, Shed's great. So yeah, definitely pop down and come down and see us. Sounds a nice place. That wildlife park. May have to visit. Got to. It's really good. It's really good. So reasonable, and just tons to see there. And we spent a good 4 hours walking around. Walking 13 quid for 4 hours. I mean, it's worth it. It's worth it. In fact, we'll have a decent sized van, so let me know if you need anything moving around, Simon. If I can help, I'll smash in. It's mainly I've got some stuff to take to the tip. I'm not filling up someone else's van with my rubbish. Bunyan Payne 16. Bunyan, I love that name. Bunyan Payne 16. Hello, Vicar from the USA. I'm glad you're back from your training in Southern England. Will you ever film a walk at Point of Ayre? If you have done one in the past, I may have missed it. So there is a Point of Ayre video. It wasn't particularly a walk, but my wife and I drove up there. And we drove along the front. This is why I want my 4x4 back. Drove along the front, parked up with my... no, we didn't use that table there. We've got picnic tables out, and we kind of sat by the sea on a really gloriously sunny day. I sent the drone up for a little kind of run along the front, and the seals on the front and stuff like that. So there's definitely a Point of Ayre. It's a funny one. You could walk it, but it's more a place you visit. I think it's a place you visit. So, but yeah, if you search through my videos, it'll be on one of my. It might be under visiting places. I do try and put them under sections, but you'll find a Point of Ayre video from last summer. It would be last summer, so maybe June, July time. It was glorious. And blessings be upon you, my brother, Bunyan Payne. Nice to hear from you. Thanks for being on this live stream. But tons of videos to watch. 100% recommend Rivian, hoping they'll grow to be able to export to Europe. Well, I just saw a little video of the Rivian 2, and they went, and it's pre-production, I think, and they test drove the pre-production. They said it was so good that it will be just the top selling car. It will just outdo anything because it's really, really good. I agree with you on green engine. Look, you don't have to, I appreciate you do agree with me, but nobody has to agree with me. I just feel there's something wrong with a lot of the eco stuff that's going on. my diocese, I believe, is about to launch like a sort of a green policy. But yeah, the church isn't going to get to net zero. This net zero stuff, must get to net zero at any cost, it feels like. And I don't think that's right. Um, and what's happened, I think it's changing now. So I think what China did is they built loads and loads of power stations, like oil and coal-fired power stations, to kind of boost up their energy supply. And now they're kind of going over to a lot of solar and stuff. And so they're now producing massively. What will happen is they've gone for the cheap electricity while they go through that transition and manufacturing and stuff like that, and then they're going to move over to renewables, so they're not reliant on gas or oil or coal, because all of that is really susceptible to kind of international problems. But I think China hasn't got a lot of coal anyway. But yeah, a lot of these countries are moving over to renewables after that. Is that they've made the move. We're just all over the place, and that's the trouble. The target is target should be cheap, clean energy, but it'll never be cheap because the cheaper it gets for them to make, they won't reduce the cost of it. They'll just make more money. It's not, and Musk, whatever you think about Elon Musk, okay, fine, whatever. But Elon Musk with his Starlink, as the network gets bigger and cheaper to run, the scalability, the bills are going down. So it's now cheaper to get started. Now he's not got the competitors, apart from like local broadband and stuff. Not got the competitors with this kind of broadband, like satellite broadband, and yet the price is coming down because the scalability means he can produce it and make it and do it cheaper. It's like, wow. Good night. Hey, Bunyan Pain. Good night to you as well. Thank you. Yeah, just that's the problem is greed, which we all know. But yeah, Anthony, 100% recommend Rivian, hoping they'll grow to be able to export. Yeah. So Rivian 2 looks amazing, like proper, like a bit like a Land Rover Discovery type thing, but probably would work, which is different to the Land Rover Discoveries or Range Rovers and things like that. Yeah, I don't think I meant the Discovery, but anyway, something like that. Imagine put another in front of that cost, Simon. Or what was I saying? Imagine times 6 meals over here. Put another in front of that cost sign. I'm not sure. Now, I've missed that. Oh, 6 meals. Oh, yeah. Put another. Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Getcha. So we're talking about 6 meals over here. I think that's really reasonable. And it wasn't like we had a sandwich. I mean, we had wraps, but I had steak and onion wrap, and it came with salad and chips. And my boy had a proper fillet of chicken burger. And my boyfriend's girlfriend had a pulled pork burger, and my daughter had a chili burger. And my other daughter had a lasagna, which we've had tonight for dinner, but she had lasagna, chips and stuff, and wife had the steak. So we had that, and we had drinks and everything. 85 quid. I mean, it sounds like a lot, but actually for a meal out, a nice place, it was all right. It's good. And the food there is great. Food at the Coorig's Wildlife Park is really good. It's well worth it. Yes. Internet. Does Starlink compare favorably to regular fibre costs, Simon? We'll need to sort some internet provision. Yeah, to be honest, a lot of people over here are moving to a lot of people over here use Starlink. One of the reasons we have like a Starlink, like Elon Musk has got like some kind of Starlink connection cable, because obviously satellite is up and down, and then it kind of, you bounce your signal, it hits somewhere on the ground, and then it travels along fibre. It doesn't go from point to point kind of thing. It doesn't bounce around the skies. So fibre over here is reasonably expensive, I'd say. We use Manx Telecom, and I have them sort of the calling package and everything. I think about 70 quid a month, and it comes with, I've got reasonably fast internet. I've got 500 meg. You don't need, obviously I stream, I upload videos, I download a load of stuff. The upload was really good. It's not as bad as Virgin. When I was with Virgin in the UK, I could get really fast downloads, which is great if you're watching the movies and stuff like that. But uploads for uploading videos, it was what they call asymmetric, and so it was like a gigabit internet, and then it was like 40 meg up or something like that, or 20 meg up, and it's like it's ridiculous. Whereas the internet over here, I think, is something like 500 down and 100 up, or something. Much better, way better. It's like so. It's fine. You don't need any faster than that, and you'd have to, if you want faster than 500 meg, you have to have a really good reason for it. You'd know why. And that'd be multiple downloads all at the same time. You'd need the bandwidth, you'd need the speed. It'd be a good reason for it, but most people don't need it that fast. But Sarah and I had a small lunch in Marylebone, London on Monday, and it was 50 quid for the two of us. Yeah, that's not right. Do you know what? I went to Pizza Express for our anniversary before we moved over here about 3 years ago. And my wife and I had a pizza and did we have a dessert? Maybe something like that, and a drink. I think we had one drink each, and it was like 70 quid. And we're like, this is Pizza Express. Isn't that fancy? We're like High Street in Bexley Heath, and we're like 70 quid, 75 quid for two of us. So yeah, I don't think 85 quid's bad. I just wish I wasn't buying for everyone. To go out and earn some money. My daughter did offer to pay. One of my daughters is working, and she said, I'll pay for it. I'm like, no, you're not paying for everyone. Not a chance. What are the Starlink costs over there, if you're aware, or anybody in chat? So same as anywhere, because it's like you can go into Starlink, and I think the small package is like 35 quid a month now for the home package, and you have to buy the equipment, but you can buy the equipment at Curry's. You can pretty much set it up yourself, or you can get like one of the local companies will set it up for you. There's a couple of like antenna companies that do all that sort of stuff. So they will kind of do all the setup for you if you want it. But yeah, but I think that 35 quid's like the cheapest one, and that gives you an allowance. So it's like 50 gig or 40 gig downloads a month. So it depends how much you use. And they do like at higher levels. You can go for like one level or the top level. And the thing with them is you can do like a lower level one, but added like a booster onto it. So like an extra 15 quid, you can get an extra however many gig. So it's not bad. But I think the equipment's about 300 quid, I think, 250, something like that. But again, that keeps going down in price. Occasionally they'll do deals where that you can pay it off over a period of time. Just go Curry's PC World, pick it up. We've got a Curry's PC World over here. You can order it off Curry's, buy the equipment and do it. But it depends on the house that you're in, as to whether or not you're allowed to put it on the side of the house if you're going to mount it. They come with like a stand. They don't come with a wall mount, so you'd have to order a wall mount. But you don't have to get the Starlink wall mount. You can get like an Amazon one. So do it that way. But if you can do it, it's good. It's reliable. It's probably gone down less than the landline stuff over here. People have talked about it going down like twice in the last few years. Yeah, definitely worth it. Have a think about that. So I think it's good. I think we'll probably look at putting Starlink in one of our churches as a trial to. I think we need internet in one of our churches, and there's just no way, cost-wise and getting permissions to do things, drilling holes through walls, stuff like that. It's never worth it. We don't need telephone lines. We can use voice over IP, so we can use VoIP telephone lines if we really need to. So that's the way we're probably going to go. No need. Anything else? What else can we talk about? Come on. There's enough of you here. Ask me some questions. Don't make it too difficult, because I'm getting tired. 9 o'clock. We've done our first hour. First hour's down, so we can change things up. You can ask about anything you like, or we can say that's enough for tonight. We're done. We'll wind it down. We'll take it as a done deal. So unless I hear anything, I would say so. Just to say what's been happening. So as I say, my son's here at the moment. He's been here since he had a nightmare getting over as well. So luckily he found out before he travelled, but his ferry was supposed to go at like 2 p.m. on Sunday afternoon. It didn't leave till 11:59 p.m. And all he did was he just stayed in Liverpool, went shops and things like that, and hung around. But it didn't. So that was a bit of a delay. And but they got over here and they arrived at 6 a.m. on Monday morning. So and then we've just when I've not been working, I've just spending time with them. That's why I've been out filming. And today's been busy. So I had what's called a DBF meeting, which is the Diocesan Board of Finance, which is one of the committees I sit on. I sit on the Diocesan Board of Finance. I sit on the Church Commissioners, which takes a lot care of a lot of the property on the that belongs to the church on the island, churches and vicarages and things like that. And I also sit on the Vacancy and See Committee, which is the committee that works if we ever need to get a new bishop. We would be involved in the selection of a new bishop. And I also sit on the Property Committee, which is a subcommittee of the church commissioners looking after property. So it's like 4 committees I sit on. Plus, I look after the social media for the diocese, which is tricky at the moment, but we're trying to work that out. Motion detected at the front door. That'll be someone going out. Perhaps to empty a bin. So what else do I sit on? But so social media for the diocese. So I've had a few meetings this week. Plus, I've had a memorial service to arrange a funeral that was on Monday, and a wedding that I'm arranging, plus some home visits, plus we launched our Lent course on Tuesday afternoon. Tuesday evening was what was that? Tuesday evening was our Compline service. So just long days, hard to get some time in. So I wasn't going to get out filming. So it's just one of those things. When we start to notice the TT is approaching, I guess it's kind of happening. The countdown started, so we'll notice early because we'll start seeing some road fixes going on. So they'll start closing bits of road to do some repairs, because the roads have to be really good. So they do take really good care of the roads that are on the track. You'll start hearing about some of the preps and the prepping that's going on for it. People start talking about jobs because there's some temp jobs, hospitality jobs. And then you'll start, because there's a few different races. It's not just TT. So Southern 100, the Manx GP, the Manx Classics, as well as the TT. So, and we'll have various motorbike, car, rally racing we have going. It's tons. So it's all the time, but they'll start getting the plans together. We have a confetti festival happens in Castletown, and literally, I mean, we're talking confetti exploding all over the place, music and all sorts of stuff. Really good day usually, so that's starting to come into plan. But yeah, generally speaking, it just arrives. Timwell Day will be coming up. So yeah, lots of these little things that happen around the summer, when it's so quiet. It's really busy. Any other move over gotchas to consider? Main thing is everything is doable, everything's fixable. I would say getting your head around the tax thing, if you haven't got a tax advisor. So you do your own tax return, and you do it, even if you're PAYE, you still do a tax return. It's online, forms are really straightforward, and you can pretty much go, yeah, that's correct, and send, which is great, unless you've got lots of other things like other incomes, property, blah, 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 whatever. But the thing with that is you can go into the tax office and speak to someone and make an appointment. That's a really important thing to sort out. Your rates, if you're renting at the moment, your rates should be paid by your landlord usually, to make sure they are being paid. And when you're coming over with children, if they're under 16 or in full-time education, you are entitled to child allowance. You don't get any tax credits or things like that, but you are entitled to child allowance as soon as you move over here. So you claim that, put that in straight away, but you won't be entitled to any other benefits. You have to be here for 10 years before you can claim benefits, think it's 10 years. I think it might have been 5, but it's now anyway. It's a long time, so that's why nobody comes over here looking to claim any kind of benefits, because you won't get them. So it's no point. But pretty much stuff works the same. How your fuel is. If it's oil, then you need to learn how to check your oil to make sure, because a lot of houses around here, whether in town like ours is in a town, castle town, we've got an old tank, and to find out who you're going to use for your oil and work on that out and see how much oil you've got and when you need to top it up and how much you're using, that kind of thing. It's really important to use. It's fairly straightforward, but it's just something I like. I have to go out to the tank and have a look inside it, check the bars on it and make sure it's got enough in there, and then order it and stuff like that. So it's not as automatic as having gas piped into the place, but it does make you really aware of how much you're using, much more aware. I think we spend less now. All your insurances, car insurance, house insurance should go down. It's a lot cheaper to get insurance over here, so make sure you get that changed over. James, how did my thing go when I went across? Really good, really, really good. Got some really good ideas. I love. It was a course called Kindling, and it was amazing. I really enjoyed it. So glad I went. Tax situation is cool. Nice that thresholds are even higher given budget changes from April. Yes, so I'm all working out how we're going to be affected. Tax office have answered my inquiries in before I move. Yeah, they're so good. I mean, government gets a lot of stick, but the people who work for the government, people like tax, anything like that, the people who work in the like the licensing office for driving licenses, you'll only get a certain amount of time you can keep your driving license. You have to get a driving license for over here. So better off getting it done early. If you're bringing a car over, get it tested as early as possible. Again, you can drive a UK car over here for a while, but just get it done, get it tested, get it sorted. It's the best thing to do. Don't leave it. But the tax office is good. These thresholds, and so increased minimum salary plus the threshold changes are going to help out a lot of people. We're kind of working out. We don't even know. So my salary's changing. My stipend, I should say, it's a stipend, is going up, and that caused a bit of interesting discussions in churches. The fact is that we've been on, like, as a vicar, I'm not going to go into exactly. It's actually public knowledge, but it's a bit more complicated over here. But we don't get paid very much, considering most of us have got degrees and have been working for a long time, and it doesn't go. I had plenty of years in the last sort of 11 years in the church where we've got no money. It's a 0% pay rise this year, and we're like, well, inflation's gone up, so basically I've got less than I ever had. But it's supposed to be sacrificial. I've had enough. I've had enough to survive. And then they then cut pensions from, it was 2/3 to 1/2, so they started to give a lower pension, and they make you work longer to get the pension. So it went from, I don't know, it went from 39 years to 41 to then 42.5 or 43 or something. So basically it was less and less and less and less. And 0% pay rises, 1% pay rise, 2%, 0%, 1%, that sort of thing. So all the time, like, your stipend just doesn't go as far. They've just made an adjustment because they kind of sitting on 12 billion, I think, the Church of England, because their investments have done very well. That's me being straight. We don't see it. We don't get any money from the central church. Neither does the diocese. All the money flows upwards. But they've got 12 billion, and we went, do you think you'd actually should be making it so that your vicars aren't having to go to the food bank themselves, the food bank that they're probably running, to ask for food, or having to get, like, emergency help from charities, like apply. It's quite embarrassing. Not embarrassing as such. It's demoralising when you try and help other people and you're also queuing up to say, oh, my washing machine's broken, I can't afford to fix it, and you have to go apply to charities to get help when the diocese sits on 12. Not the diocese, the Church of England sits on 12 billion. Yeah, so that they've adjusted stipends to make sense of that. If you're worried about your local church, they honestly, they don't get they're not getting payouts from the Church of England at all, and there's massive pensions and buildings to maintain and stuff like that. So it's not all like they're some of it they're sitting on assets and stuff like that. So it's not quite I'm not making them out to be a monster or anything, but they can afford to put our stipends up. So we're getting like and it'll sound like a lot. It's like I think we get like a 9% raise or something like that in our stipend, but that's really to make up for the massive, basically how our stipend has dropped and dropped and dropped over the last so many years, to the point where people were virtually being made like vicars being made homeless, are in retirement because they just couldn't afford to. Because part of it is the retirement that affects the pensions, and there was something else. Yeah, so basically the it's going up to 2/3 again rather than half, like rather than 50%. Final pension is 50%. Rather, if you get the full one, I won't get the full one because I'm going to work there 41 years. I've got 17 years left and I've done 10, so I'll have like 27 years or something on my pension. So I'm not even going to get close. You'd have to start being a vicar at, I don't know, 10 years old or something. But anyway, so there you go. That's it. Yeah, I think we're going to be gas rather than oil, renting, so fair point re, Starlink fixing permissions. Yeah, that's fair enough, isn't it? You'd know that. It's just one of those things, just got to watch for. Wrong end of the island for you, I guess. But any recommendations for doctors and dentists down north? Dentists, you'll probably go private. Honestly, there's no NHS dentists. It's like a 5-year waiting list. I think it's going to be reduced, and they're working on it. But you've got to get the dentists over to do it, and they've got to have the right contracts. And then but then my son's in Aberystwyth, and they're all private. You can't get into an NHS dentist there, or in Wales either. There's lots of places like it. It's not like it's just the island, and waiting lists and stuff like that. But I don't know the doctors. I do know that all the ones I've spoken to and been to and have been fantastic, and much better experience than in London. But I guess it's a bit of a lottery, isn't it? What you get. But local, join the local Facebook groups of Ramsey, community groups, and search first for dentists, and you'll probably find someone else has asked the question and got a million answers before. Same with doctors. But yeah, private dentist is going to be the way you're going to have to go, I'm afraid. What else is there to tell you about that? Anything else about moving here? I'm trying to remember if there's anything we really... I wouldn't say our move was smooth. It's complicated, isn't it? Moving to an island it is complicated. It is what it is. You're moving all your belongings on some container or the back of a trailer to another nation. It's not another country as such, but it's another nation. It's not part of the UK. So suddenly you're using different money. Suddenly you're like the place names are a bit hard to find on your Google Maps, and actually it's not bad. It's my sat nav's terrible for it, but you're going to be, some things are going to feel a bit strange. 2.5 years down the line, I couldn't imagine living anywhere else. I just the views today, the sunshine when it was out, and the kind of I just don't get the chance. I never got the chance to do all that sort of stuff when I was in the UK, and I'm not any less busy, probably busier, but I'm still finding time because it's on my doorstep to get out and go for a walk or go for a stroll or get some fresh air or do something positive, So I love it. Look, I can't convince everyone to come here, and it's not going to be for everyone. My son's not going to move here. My son's in Aberystwyth. He loves ABBA. That's where he's going to stay. I don't know whether he'll ever come here. Good for him. We followed our dreams. They're not going to make him come here at all. He's 22 years old, 23 this year. He'll do his own thing. He's got a flat. He's just moving to a new flat, actually, with a friend. So that's good because he can share some of the bills and that, and have a little bit more spare money. But, he's come over there having a great time visiting. We're lovely having them here. Yeah. Actually looking forward to the move so much. It's going to bring some fresh perspective on life. Yeah, do it. So if that's anything you learn from this, it's really easy to say, like when we're going out, we'll be able to go walk the dog, and we'll be able to go out and go walk along the beach, and then we'll walk around the harbour, we'll go out of an evening, and we'll do this and we'll do that, and then get into your routine of your job. Don't do it. Get out. Do the stuff you said you were going to do. Fulfill all the promises you made yourself that you said you would. Write it down somewhere. tick it off every week that you've gone out for a walk, or I don't know what it is you come. We chatted, but what is it you're coming here for? Do you love the outdoors? Do you want to go sea swimming? Well, get out there and blooming go sea swimming, go wild swimming, go hiking, camping. Do your sport that you wanted to do, your mountain biking or your climbing, your hiking, your sea cliff climbing or whatever they do, and join the RNLI or do there's so much you could do if you made that promise to yourself. That's why I want to move down. Do it. Because I said I'd go camping and hiking and walking. That's what I do. My wife wanted to do more photography. She's out there doing photography. Doing a load more today. My daughter wanted to ride a motorbike. She's got a motorbike now. My kids are doing what they always wanted to do, and they're enjoying it. There's nothing better on a summer's day when your kids go, like this was last year and year before, but last year was pretty good summer. When your kids go out to say, is it all right if we go with our friends to the beach? And you go, yes, this is why we're here. You can get on the bus, head over to Port Erin and go sit on the beach with your friends. And they would. My son was taking a book with him to read. What a loser. He's brilliant. I love it. Oh no, I am only joking. I think it's brilliant. He took like his anime book with him because his mates were like wanting to, kick around and natter and jump in the sea and stuff. And he was like, I just want to sit and read my book. And that's what he did. Yay. How are your community groups going inside? Which ones are these? Are these like so AA started, so AA's going, toddler groups going, launching the worship kind of community group thing. I've got some work to do. Next week, I'm meeting again with the people about funding for some of the stuff we're going to be doing. But pretty much, I'm going to have everything getting started, and I'm going to start begging for money from some rich business people, I think. Not so much money. I probably just need some equipment. I say get the Starlink up, get some computers in, set us up. I need to go clear out upstairs. So I probably need to get a skip and clear out a load of the old junk that's built up in the church. Just need to get it binned and got rid of. But there's that sort of thing to do. And then I'll have the space to start setting up the youth drop-in and the computer section and all that sort of business. The bits I want to do upstairs. But the worship thing, we're pretty close to getting started. I might have some musicians, so that's getting close. I made any firm sea swimming plans yet? I'm jumping in as soon as I get out. Good for you. I went paddling. I've been paddling before, but we've not swum. I feel such a wuss. I really can't stand being cold, which is funny moving to an island like this. But I don't like the heat and the sun and stuff. But I don't like, when you get icy. And I've slept out when it's like -3 in a tent, and I didn't have the best equipment with me because I didn't expect it to get so cold. And when you like 3 o'clock in the morning and you're as cold as you've ever been, and you don't feel like you'll ever be warm again, and there's a bit of you. This is going to sound really bad unless you've slept out, unless you've been right out in the elements and you've been that cold, where in your head you go, if I died, I wouldn't feel cold anymore. And that would sound horrible, horrendous to people. It's true. You go through this in your head, you go, oh, if I just died right now, I wouldn't feel cold. Terrible. But here we go. Sea swim. I'm getting excuses for not going sea swimming now. But I'm going to get out there. I'm going to jump in the water at some point and go, I wish I'd never done this and never get back in again. But no, I'll probably get out at some point. My wife's keen to get out there and go swimming. So she loves going swimming in the sea. We always, whenever we go somewhere, we always go sea swimming anyway. Bike and walking principally, but biking. I love that. But the swimming and kayaking sounds fun too. It's also like allowing me to get the real camera back out and leave the phone at home turned off. Photography over here. I mean, there's plenty of photography clubs as well. There's a club for everything over here. Swimming, kayaking. There's swimming groups. There's sea swimming groups. There's biking groups, cycling groups, mountain biking groups. I've never known a place so packed with clubs. So join a club. There'll be plenty, or do your own thing. But some serious. When we were like Currag's Wildlife Park, around the outside, they've got a little walkway. There's a wild section, and there's still wallabies like hang around the zoo, even though they've escaped. They kind of hang around. We saw the wallabies out in the wild, which is great. Kayaking is big. There's a guy who makes kayaks, who's Steve. Steve is just amazing. He makes his own kayak. He's got no space for making them at the moment because he's doing a big order that I think it's going off to the US. But he is absolutely superb and does like bespoke kayak designs. Just stunning. How did it go when you became a vicar? Oh, well. Oh, the recently thing. Oh, it was really good, mate. We had the service. Church was packed solid. It was St Mary's, a smaller church, but it was packed solid. Full. I bet it was just. I always say that stuff like being full. I mean, it doesn't matter, does it? It was joyful. It was a joyful service. We got everything right. Did everything right. The main thing is people had a wonderful time and were laughing and joking and having fun at the end of the service. Bless me. It just went really well. Really good. I'm really happy with that. Kayaking, take that up. Start with cold shower assignment. Ain't going to happen. Good after a warm shower to help the body decompress and recover. I have done the kind of cold shower thing, actually. Like turning it as cold, gradually turn it down until it gets colder. It's good for your pores. It's good for your circulation. Hot showers are really bad for you. And I'm a bit of a one for like baths, which are like my wife. I could be in the bath for an hour and a half. Well, it could be a poem. And my wife would then go, "Oh, you haven't taken the plug out," and then burn her hand trying to get the plug out because it's too hot for her still. I'm that kind of super hot baths and super hot showers. Terrible for my skin. Shouldn't do it, but I love heat in like hot water. It's funny. I don't like the sun. I love the sun, but you know, being in really hot places and doesn't not keen on that. My skin, fair skin. You know, look how pale. There's camera. I'm under lights and stuff, but wow, you know, and that now grey hair. Yeah, what am I doing? Right, okay. Do we think an hour and a half's enough? Any more questions before I go? I'm not in a rush or anything, but I just, you know, don't want you hanging out here for the sake of it. There might be some people join. I put on a 5-minute thing tonight, so it just helps with people not coming in and sending anything particularly offensive. We haven't had any problems with it, but I've been starting to get like, I had that kind of million kind of point of views across platforms the other month. Was it last month, month before? And I was like, I was starting to get a few more little trolls and a few more little comments coming through. So just for safety's sake, I just went, you got to be subscribed to the channel for more than 5 minutes, which is no big deal to go into the chat, but it stops people just coming in and going there and saying something. They'd have to subscribe to the channel to make it worth their while. So yeah, if there's nothing else though, if you've not got anything else to ask, then you can go off and have the rest of your evening. This tea's really cold now. So Aaron, I made this at the start of the stream. That's me for you. I'm always drinking cold tea. Oh, okay. New Year's dip. No, not doing the New Year's dip. James, don't be ridiculous. It's blooming freezing at the best of times. They do a New Year's dip everywhere, all over the island, but in Castletown, they do a New Year's dip and everyone goes in the sea at 10 o'clock in the morning or something on New Year's Day, and it's like, they're brave. What's your plans for the next walk and talk assignment, or just family time at the weekend? Right. So usually I go out on a Monday. These things might change because now I might move my day off till Fridays, but I wanted to get up to Doon Glen to see if we got the bluebells and stuff like that. But I don't think we might be a bit early. We've got the daffs out. I haven't seen the bluebells, but I'll have a look. Only because I've been doing Ballaglass Glen is one I'm desperate to go see. I really just want to go for a walk. It's just been like, next week is all rain again. This week would have been perfect, but I've just been too busy. And next week's going to be rain again. But there we go. We had snow last night up on the mountain. The mountain when we went out today was like crested in white because, and our mountain's not massive, but it was like crested in white snow because we had snow last night. So it's still that time of year, isn't it? Are you going to pick your guitar up and play a song, Dave lad? Probably not. I don't play great, so this is an old beat up one that I nicked off my daughter because I've got another guitar over there, but it's an electric. But I was just like, So I was doing an assembly on Tuesday, and I said I was trying it with like music playing out of speakers and stuff like that. It just wasn't getting the kids into it. So we did a who's the king of the jungle? Who's the king of the jungle? Who's the king of the sea? Who's the king of the universe? And who's the king of me? I tell you. Oh, I can't do it, see? I didn't play it like this. Yeah, who's the king of the jungle? So. Yeah, I'm kind of learning a few chords and bits and bobs. I used to play a little bit more, but I'm out of practice. I haven't played for years properly. So I was, playing some stuff at an assembly as a cheesy vicar who plays the guitar. But they loved it, and they were jumping up and down and gave me a round of applause at the end. So I don't know how that works. You're not supposed to get a round of applause at the end of an assembly. But they were jumping that down, thought it was hilarious. So it's good fun. Learning something new, good Lenten practice to take up something. So thought I'd do a little bit of music, and we're going to have a bit more of that. Anyway, just need a drum set. Oh, don't see. I'm looking. Potentially got a keyboard player. Potentially got a guitarist. I could do with a drummer and a bass player, and then we're going to sort out some worship music going on, contemporary worship music. Not everyone's cup of tea, I know, but that's what we're aiming for down a new kind of congregation that I'm starting. It's like a church, a new church called a church graft. So it's not going to be another service, because another service would be kind of the same congregation, the same people, which they'll all be welcome to come, but they won't like it. It's not going to be a lot of their cup of tea. We're going to start a new thing, and some of the contemporary. So a lot of people have heard like Brandon Lake. You might not have heard of Brandon Lake, but think of if you listen for the song Brandon Lake. Let me type it down here. Oh, put Branson Lake. That's Brandon. Not Branson Lake. Brandon Lake. Anyway, Brandon Lake Gratitude. That kind of is the kind of style of stuff and Bethel music and stuff like that. So it's going to be a bit different. But yeah, it's that kind of like real contemporary, but you can sing along. So it's a funny thing. You got Christian music, and you've got worship music. Worship music you can sing along to, rather than being something which is performed and you just listen to and wave your hands in the air and kind of join in. So, so it's a bit different. Obviously, I'm also got my delivery of prayer books. So that's like very traditional, you could say old-fashioned. So we do everything in our churches. We've got everything from the higher, but not higher church stuff to kind of middle of the road to I'm trying to launch the contemporary so that people can come and enjoy different kinds of worship in the same community kind of thing. Anyway, that's the idea. It's weird. Anyway, what else do we need to say? What do we need to say? Anything at all? I don't know. Really? Just to say, if that's about it and there's nothing else, then all we need to do is say goodnight. So I'm leaving it on just for a moment. I'll leave the chat on for a bit. We haven't used this button tonight. Look, I've got a magic button. Don't think I've got anything else, have I? I'm sure I had church bells before. Got that sort of thing. Or computer games, game over. Tell that I used to be a real nerdy streamer, gaming streamer. Oh, that would be great if you could come down for the Easter service, mate. That would be brilliant. I've got I met this week a guy called Steve who came over from Liverpool. He's not going to move over to the island, but he was coming for a visit. But he's coming over for a bit of a stay at Easter, and he's coming over as well. I've got a guy I'm meeting next week, another Steve, who were again someone who's thinking about moving over or is going to be moving over, wants to meet up for a chat. It seems to be a new ministry that's developing, which people who are moving to the island need a bit of community and who they're going to meet and all that sort of thing. And I'm becoming this conduit for Christians. Conduit, there you go. Conduit for Christians moving to the island to be able to kind of come and join in. It's great for anybody thinking of moving to the island, Christian or not. Church gives you an immediate community, and no one there is going to care if you come along and join in, and you're not a Christian, or at least you don't think you're a Christian at the moment. They'll be happy to make you welcome. And there's lots of stuff that goes on around church, loads of charitable stuff, loads of supporting the community, elderly people visiting, loads of things you can do and be part of a church without having to be a Christian. Belonging before believing, something I think quite strongly about. Belonging before believing. Come along into the community. So many people move away from the Isle of Man because they didn't feel like they met. They're lonely. They didn't meet people. They didn't meet families. They didn't meet people because it's hard to make connections. Whereas church, we get people coming into us all the time, and we take you as you are, and you can come along and just be part of it. So there's something that's happening which is really cool. Actually, I love it. I love that I'm meeting new people. And the people who are moving here, so I'm really excited for them. And then they can become part of our church communities, or I can help them find a community near them, if that's what suits them. How do we get down for the Easter service? James, I don't know if they're still there, because it was when I was a teen. There was CDs with church music on them at St Mary's. It might be a while ago, mate. There's always CDs hanging around with some church music. Jesus is for anyone, everyone, absolutely. And the church is a place where too many times people feel like they have to be sure of their faith before they come to church, or they have to believe in something and know it all, and otherwise people will find them out and they're not fit. No one worries about that in church. Actually, it's a bit of a hospital for the hurting at times, and we get people who come in every now and again and they go, I don't know what I believe, but I'll have a cup of tea with you after the service, sort of thing. I've had people who've come and arrived, as the service finished, I'll come in then and have a cup of tea. That's great. I don't care. That's what we're here for, to serve the community. That's what Jesus said, to serve others. So I won't get too religious now on you. I'm a priest, but I know some people just want to be here for a bit of community as well. But we just want everyone to feel welcome in the church, and we get so many people who are part of that community. And that's what's important. So I think it's a really good thing. People moving over, going, oh, we're here now, but we don't know anybody. You come to church, you'll know a ton of people straight away, and you'll have something in common. They'll make you very welcome. Before you know it, you'll be popping around someone's for a cup of tea and meeting with different people and being part of charitable events and all sorts of stuff like that. So it's really worth it. I think that's about it. Right, I'm gonna go. I spend the rest of the evening with my wife and my kid, my kids. Good to see you back, Ellen. Also, be nice to see some of the community folks we chatted to after our last visit. That's a good bunch. I love my lot. They're so funny. Well, anyway, look, I'm going to press the right buttons, I think, but I'm going to end the stream here and say good night to you. Just take care. Oh no, let me do the button as well. We'll do the ending button in a moment, so you can have a little backdrop. I can't play music because it's all protected music and stuff like that. I don't know, but give us a shout. Anyone about, if you're popping over to visit the island, if you're coming over and you want a cup of coffee or a lift somewhere, or you want to chat anytime, give us a shout. Anybody on here who knows me or has been over will tell you that I'll meet up with you, and you can come to services, or I'll just come meet you for a coffee or whatever you need from me. I'm there for you. So give us a shout if you need anything. Take care of yourselves. More importantly, take care of each other. God bless. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Good night.